Hello and welcome to another Tech Tips with Digital Technologies. This is Thomas. Today we are going to look at what does the Autonomic Streamer do for your system. And this is going to be specifically for whole home audio. And this is you can get it in a 1, a 2, and a 5 source streamer. Typically we are going to use the 2 source streamer, which gives you a player A and a player B, or a player 1 and a player 2, depending on how it is installed. In this particular instance, we're going to open up our Elan app. And what we're going to have is we're going to have an amplifier that does up to 4 zones inside of your home, or 6 zones inside of your home, called the S86A. And I have 4 of those zones programmed as rooms in my Elan. Now I've got the kitchen, living room, pantry, and master bedroom that are programmed into my system. With the Autonomic Streamer, we have 2 sources of audio only that we can use without using any other app, just completely inside of the Elan interface. So inside of the Elan interface, if I open up Kitchen, I have Streamer Player 1 and Streamer Player 2, all built into one device. Now I can turn Player 1 on, and it gives me the options to play music from Pandora, Sirius, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, which is going to be digitized version of most local radio stations or any radio station in the world. Out of the box, you do not have to have any subscription. You can use the TuneIn Radio to listen to digital radio stations directly within the Elan interface. If I choose any of these radio stations, they will start playing out of the kitchen area, as indicated in the top, on player output 1. Now, because this is a 2-source streamer, while somebody is listening to player 1, streaming music from TuneIn Radio, let's just go ahead and turn this on to local radio station Big Country 92.5. That's going to start playing music in the kitchen on player 1, and it's going to load up some content and what's playing. I can turn the volume up and down specifically for that room. I can mute that room. I can pause what's playing in that room, and that's only on player 1. Now, a second person in the master bedroom can load up player number 2 and can be listening to a completely different source. While I'm in the kitchen listening to my country radio, my wife or my partner or my kids or anybody can be sitting in the master bedroom listening to a completely different source. I do not have Pandora logged in, Sirius logged in, or Spotify logged in at the moment, but let's just go ahead and choose a different radio station in TuneIn just for the purposes of this demonstration. I'm going to listen to KRRO radio on player 2 in the bedroom. Now I can see that player 1 is playing in the kitchen and player 2 is playing in the bedroom. 2 completely different sources playing in 2 completely different rooms. Now if I'm in the kitchen and I'm coming and going from the pantry, maybe I'll also put player 1 in both the kitchen and the pantry. But my spouse is between the master bedroom and living room. Maybe she's cleaning, doing laundry, whatever it is she's doing. She wants to listen to her music in both rooms. She can be listening to player 2 in her rooms, and I'm listening to player 1 in my 2 rooms. Or I'm cleaning the entire house and I want to listen to the same thing in every single room of the house. I can turn every single room of the house onto just player 1, and player 2 is currently not being used. And that gives you an idea of how the streaming works inside of Elan with the Autonomic Multimedia Streamers. Now, if you were an iPhone user, you also have built-in AudioCast. So if I go back to any device or any app that I want that is not built directly into the Elan, I can use a separate app such as Jazz Radio, and I can swipe up from the bottom of my screen with iPhone devices, and I can cast to player 1 and player 2. Therefore, anything that I can play on my phone, I can use AirPlay to cast to the likes of player 1 or player 2, and whatever I'm playing on my phone will now come out of player 1 and player 2. Now I can't actually do it while I'm screen recording, unfortunately. It's a little Apple feature that they shut off streaming while I'm recording. But I could play my Jazz Radio app, which is not built into the Elan interface, over player 1, and then I can go back into the Elan interface after I started playing music and after I started casting it over to player 1, and I can turn on player 1 without selecting anything inside of Elan, and I will hear my music from the app on my phone being casted to player 1. And that's without using any of the built-in interfaces within Elan, but we do have a ton of built-in interfaces for the most commonly used applications directly in Elan without having to do any app hopping. If you are an Android user and you use Spotify, Spotify already has a built-in Spotify Connect feature. So if you were playing music in Spotify and you didn't want to use the built-in Elan feature, it also has casting built directly into Spotify for Android devices for that particular application. All right, well, thank you guys for looking at the video, and any other questions, please email or call us. Thank you very much.